What's up, gamers? Coops here. Welcome back. This is going to be Chapter 2 of the Lies of P Overture playthrough that nobody asked for. And this wasn't here before. So this became the menu screen after beginning the DLC. So I just wanted to take a minute and include this in the intro. This was one of those few things that, I shouldn't say few things. There's certainly many things that left a lasting impression, but one of those small details that it's like it could be so easily overlooked, you know, the progression that occurs at the menu screen. And I think that it parallels so much of like P's journey along the way, of like he's changing and evolving, and so this the heart that we see is kind of changing with it, and the background is kind of changing with it, and it's just one of those small details. So I really enjoy it, appreciate it, so I wanted to make sure that I included that here. But this is going to be the start of Chapter 2. And we are gonna see what's out. I think he said the Savannah Experience or Savannah Expedition. Something Savannah, and I'm seeing Savannah written on that thing over there. So I believe we're going the right way. Nice. Oof. Thanks. Okay. Oops. That's not the heal button. Oh, we got another one of those. So this, like, so we've seen corrupted bears in the wild before. And then this guy looks more like it was maybe like encaptured, like it was a bear that was, or maybe it's a polar bear. I forget, I can't guard the grab. Can't block the grab, moves. Is this a polar bear, do you think? I'm kind of getting polar bear vibes, but I feel like polar bears kind of need cold to thrive, right? I need to heal. And, crud. Gemini made it seem like they don't really get snow a lot. He made it seem like there was a day, like he said, I remember a day where it snowed at the zoo. So it's like, if that was a polar bear, maybe it wasn't in a great habitat. I mean, if it was living in this cage, like that's certainly not much for a polar bear to thrive in. But who knows, maybe he was back here or something. Maybe he had more room. Somebody call PETA. I don't know if they're PETA's still a big deal. Sorry, ADD brain. Even captive bears are dangerous predators. Correct. Yes, we should know that. But so it does confirm that there were captive bears here. So, and maybe that kind of explains some of the bears in the main game, but I feel like it's okay to just like accept that like bears are in the wild. I didn't really need like a logical explanation for it. I do kind of wonder what that slug thing is. You know, like what animal is this thing? If at all. I wonder. Maybe it's just like a person. But oh, poor bear. Dang, man. Some of this is really gruesome. Makes you a little bit sad. It's like Bear was just chilling in there. This is like his little house. He's laying under his little thing. They came into his encampment and messed with him. Oh, I got a new amulet back there. Let me see what that is, what that does. This one. Increases freeze resistance. Okay. Very cool. And it does. It looked like a polar bear. Okay. I don't like this. I don't like getting backed into a corner like that. There we go. Got it. See, and so there is a part of me that's wondering if I should up the difficulty a little bit, because so far in this first about hour of gameplay, it hasn't been crushingly difficult. It's actually been, in some ways it's felt a little bit easier than the main game, but could just be my perception of it. Because I was getting my butt kicked in chapters 7 and 9. Not so much 8, but I kind of ran through 8, because 8's just the barren swamp, and there's a lot there to that you can just kind of run past if you want to. But in the Grand Exhibition, I was getting tossed around and Krot Central Station, so this felt like a better difficulty at the time. We'll see if I'm gonna make some adjustments to it. Okay, so let me take a second to orient myself. We went in through there, we went up and over, and it led us into there, and then we just came out here. So is there something I'm missing, I wonder? So I thought we wanted to go to Savannah. Oh, well, here's a rainforest. Maybe this is where we go. What is that? What on earth? Are these supposed to be kangaroos? Oh my goodness. The fire took care of them, but that was... How cool, man. This is like... I love the creativity in the enemy design. I mean, it's like, yeah, corrupt these animals. Super cool. It also kind of like... I'm getting... Oh! The big one. Holy moly. Oh, get out of the way. Come over here. Let me hit ya. Oh no! Oh man, he just shredded us. Amazing. Well, there we go. See? There I go, talking about the difficulty. Not knocking on any sort of wood. And the game lets me know right away. It's like, hey, don't let us catch you lacking. I'm gonna try to, for the most part, kind of circumvent these guys to get back there. I don't want to do anything too silly. But generally how I approach these is that I want to take on everything once, at least. I want to take on everything once at least, so like I'll take on these guys a first time around, but then on if I'm coming back through the area, I don't necessarily think that it's as crucial to my experience, if that makes sense. So I don't mind just kind of going around those guys to get back here, because I've already explored those areas. I knew there was one back there. I don't know why he's still hiding. He really hid for a while. And so I don't know. It's interesting to film this sort of a playthrough, to record this, because it's like I sometimes can't necessarily remember what I said in this episode or in last episode, if that makes sense. So my character's level is 125, and I'm in New Game Plus. And I'm considering not leveling up throughout this expansion. We'll see how it goes. But if I do follow that trajectory, then I'm gonna die here. If I don't level up along the way, then I'll have way more ergo at my disposal, which means that if I find any new weapons, I'll be able to upgrade them so that I can actually use them, which will be nice. But it'll also just kind of mean that if I lose some ergo along the way, it's not as big of a deal. Which is kind of nice, because I think that sometimes, especially, man, I remember early on, the fear of losing all of your progress, like losing all of your souls or all of your ergo or your runes, depending on what game you're playing, that was sometimes, you know, worse or more frustrating than just like losing to a boss. And so it's nice to really kind of like get past that sort of attachment to it. It's like you're always going to be able to replace those. That ergo, those souls, those runes, whatever name is attached to it, you'll always be able to replace those. You'll always be able to get more. So the more that we can kind of detach ourselves from that, the more confidence we'll have. And I think a lot of times we'll experience less stress. It means we can experience more fun, different things like that. It's just all kind of part of the
This is definitely
psychology.
Too. I'd stake my life on it.
Yeah, we know that.
If, you know, I was alive, anyway. This doesn't make sense. Krat Zoo burned down after the frenzy began.
Right, right.
But this place looks fine. Well, aside from all the corpses. How is this still standing?
See? Okay, so... So I'm not sure, because... Again, I'm not an expert on all of this stuff, but I thought that the frenzy and like this ergo corruption kind of go hand in hand, but maybe they don't. Because like, how are these like, okay, so what he was basically saying is that like the zoo burned down after the puppet frenzy. Is that what he said? Man, I'm all over the place right now. Because I'm trying to think about this. Is like, does that mean that there wouldn't be frenzied puppets along the way? There's a good chance that there might not be, right? But that we're still experiencing that there's this corruption in the world. And so this was here before the frenzy. And it's possible that that's like the truth, that that's like common knowledge. Like if somebody knows the lore and the story, they might say like, yeah, that's exactly kind of what happened. But yeah, it's interesting to try to kind of like piece things together, especially when the story is being told, out of time. So we just got this. It says Miraculous Enhancement Ampule. Temporarily increases max amount of HP, stamina, and legion. That's a pretty useful item. You can carry one in your bag and you can store them. Okay, that's pretty cool. When I was saying all that, like, so I have all of this ergo right now, and so there's a part of me that's like, I should go. There's a there's a small part of me that's getting bothered by when I press circle to like close the menu. I keep doing this back step. That I know that that's on me. I should just hit the menu button. But it's like I keep doing that, and I'm like, why do I keep doing that? It's silly stuff, But when I'm considering that I'm doing this playthrough and trying to post it online, it's little things like that that I think about. Those little sort of details that they impact the viewing experience. And yeah, I'm taking a second to look directly at you right now as I'm talking. Did you like that? Do you like it when I talk right at you? I'm going to probably just like take a second to edit all of this out. But that's okay, because it won't really matter in the long run. Okay, so I like this area. I'm wondering, what is this thing? Okay, so it's another elephant. Alright. Another elephant, but big. Very big. What? What is that? What just happened? What am I looking at? What am I looking at? There was like a crocodile head and a hyena head, and it had like antlers. Holy crap, this was awesome. Holy crap, man. That was so cool. That was so cool. Like, I love that they kind of subverted the expectations, because we had already seen an elephant before, so we're like, okay, I kind of know this one seems a little bigger, but similar vibes, and then nope, you don't know anything. Such a cool transformation. Oh! Oh no! Okay, so I need to be careful. Yikes. See, I'm worried that I'm taking, like, extra damage when I'm frozen. Yeah, like, getting hit by... You just shatter. I'm hoping that the audio is okay for all of this. So I guess will be the real test of it. Like if the audio is not good for this, then I'll have to really kind of reconsider some things. See if I can fix. Wow. Wow. Holy cow. This guy is like, he's really giving us the business. Alright, so I think that I'm going to switch over to this arm. But then for the sake of the HUD, I have to switch my weapon. And let's try this bow out. Let's see how this bow does. Oh, that was really cool. Okay. Kind of a cool bow. Whoa, that was really cool. That's some naval art. Is there... There is! Wow, this is really cool. That's cool. I like that a lot. Whoops. Oops. It's out of there. Oh man, what a monstrosity. I keep getting kicked by that. You know, it was one of those things that I noticed the first time around, and I didn't really think, like, I didn't pay too much mind to it, but he has kind of like horse legs in the back. Like he's like an elephant in the front and a horse in the back. And I just got kicked to death again. But the first time that we came across this guy, like inside the museum, he had the same legs. And I didn't really put it together until now, but wow. Alright, I'm gonna take a second to think about how we're gonna approach this guy, so I'll be back with you in just a moment. Alright, gamers. Let's get it. I just took a quick break, grab a snack, grab a drink. We're gonna take this guy on. Big old elephant. We're gonna remember that he likes to kick us in the face. Oh, you don't like being over here, do you, Mr. Elephant? Okay. He's like, nope, I don't. Okay. Should have run. It's like he's almost transforming into a dragon. And I think that's one of the coolest things about this, is that, like, the game doesn't really, you know, lend itself to having, but this is pretty close. I mean, give this thing some wings, and maybe there will be one later on that has wings even, but, like, it's pretty much a dragon. Yikes. Where's the crit spot? Nice. Okay, wait a second. Genius's Legion plug. What is that? Right, so we have Legion plugs. And then we have a Genius Legion plug. So this is going to allow us to craft a new Legion arm, I guess. Oh, and we have this high-powered flame. Oh, this is old. I'm like, oh, look at this new thing. Oh, this ancient disc was new, though, wasn't it? Maybe not. Maybe this was new. I don't remember. But hey, we beat that boss. Or, I don't know if it was a boss. It didn't have a name at the bottom, so it probably wasn't a boss, but like a mini-boss. Hey, we beat that mini-boss. There we go. So we finally got the anti-freeze ampoule, which is going to take away the freeze status ailment. So the issue is that I have these two ampoules set, and I wonder if maybe I just have to swap one of them out. Overheat, shock, decay, and corruption. Probably makes more sense to do this one here, because those ones are kind of minor status ailments, and freeze might be kind of a big deal. I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna work on closing the menu, opening the menu, closing the menu, opening the menu, closing the menu. Okay. Quiet, please. The birds are resting. Please do not shout or blow whistles near the aviary. Don't shout or blow whistles. So I wonder if we're gonna come across like a whistle that we can come back here, or maybe some kind of a shout emote. Okay. So we do have to drop down there. Looks like there's a couple more guys than first notice. So we got a couple over there. This is just this weapon in general. I think it's called the black blade cutter, black steel cutter. The black steel cutter. It's just a really solid weapon, but it's doing us exceptionally well against these guys because they're, well, they're corrupted, but they're also like cold. So I'm just kind of assuming that fire is doing extra for me. It probably isn't though. Oh no. That isn't good. Where did that come from? What in the heck? I mean, I'm all for a good trap, but that one did feel a little bit... That one felt a little bit dirty. It's like, where was the trigger? You can see it up there now. You know, now that you know that it's there, you can see it. There's a big snowball up there. But I'm wondering, like, what sets it off, what triggers it, and how you're supposed to do anything about it first time through. Oops. Yeah, like, because, like, what is this guy, you know? Like, how do you get these big claws and pincers and stuff? Like, we already have these, like, monstrous abominations. Like, basically, it seems like just, like, humans that have, like, mutated because of this corruption. So it's interesting to see this further explored with the animals. We just picked up Lorenzini Bolt Blade. Very cool. Very spear-like. Oh, hang on a second. That was really cool. It's got like a rocket thruster on it. Oh. Heck yeah. That'll be fun to experiment with later. I wonder what sort of weapon I can come up with. I think I have a couple of spearheads that go well with my build, so that'll be cool. Feels like an ambush, but...
What are they doing here?
Okay. Announcement for the Brotherhood of Truth. Okay, so we're seeing our female character, Marchiona. As a workshop technician, Marchiona earned such high prestige in the Order due to the immense worth of her achievements. It was she who discovered the secret of the sacred maid puppet, a gift from God that opened the door to the potentiality of immortality. And yet, Marchiona's immense wisdom and skill took her far beyond even that pinnacle. Okay, so created her true masterpiece, the Arch Puppets, to spread the elixir throughout Krat. So she's kind of a big deal. I wonder, is she gonna be like the pinnacle, like the boss of bosses? Or is she just gonna be the first, you know, the first boss that we come up against? First named boss. I'm getting kind of boss vibes. Oh no, you know what? I think the guy said that the legendary, or not the legendary, the red-haired stalker was in this area. I don't know if this is the area. What's this say? Yeah, Savannah. It was like a Savannah experience or Savannah expedition. Yeah, Savannah Experience Center. How about that? Okay, so
There must have been a fight. But this much blood. Someone is dying or dead.
okay. So there was a red-haired stalker who was out this way. Bunch of blood. Somebody who looks to be dead. We're gonna go upstairs. Okay. And then we have a shortcut. Okay. Alright. Let's take a second and we've got 50,000 ergo, so I'm gonna take a moment and I'm gonna go to Hotel Krat. I'm gonna get some upgrade materials and I think we're gonna put together a new weapon because we just got a new weapon handle. And I mean, that's really, with this game, it's more so about like the parts of the weapons, more so than the weapons themselves. So let's see if we can.
You're here.
Let's see what we can do. So we're gonna disassemble this weapon first. I'm gonna grab that base, the Lorenzini bolt handle. I could do the salamander dagger, which would be fire damage, or I could do the acidic crystal spear, which would be acid damage. So I'm gonna go with this one. Fire's been pretty effective so far. I'm gonna level this up. I think I can get it to at least 9. I'm not gonna take it to 10. And then we'll see if altering the handle does anything for us. An extra 19 points of damage. I only have 1 advanced crank, so we'll hold off on that for now. 19 points of damage. I mean, it's a decent amount, but it's not nothing incredible. All right. So we got a spear that can rocket boost itself. That's pretty cool. Alright, so I just ran and upgraded this weapon. So I've got a new spear with like a rocket booster on the back of it, which is pretty cool. And so we're gonna go see what's here at the Savannah Experience Center. Probably getting kind of close to where I need to end this chapter, but oh, you can see at least a little bit more. Where did that? Oh, up top there. Man. Am I hitting from here? Yes, dude. This is really cool. I like that a lot. And now we've got a bow, so we can take care of these guys. I'm pretty sure this is unlimited ammo, which is quite nice. Yeah, I like that. I think that's a really nice welcomed addition. It's it seems like, you know, just about anybody could use a bow. So that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. So far, this whole area has been really cool. I'm just loving not only just getting to explore more of this world, but just like the the simple things. You know, it's like this is so this is not Liza P, right? Like you look around this, it's like this isn't what Liza P was. Like I thought Liza P was kind of like, you know, uh, gothic, you know, urban setting with buildings and factories and this kind of like, you know, the puppet uprising and all that. And it's like now we're in a zoo. It's like so cool. All right, I'm not sure if this is the strongest weapon, but it is certainly cool. Oh, don't do that. That was the Fable art for this weapon, I believe. Yikes. I do like that. I like that the charged... one of the... Generally speaking, when it comes to combat, one of the problems that I have is trying to land that fully charged R2 in order to break the enemy, to stagger them. And so having this thrust that goes forward, like this long lunge, is really great for that. So, like, even though this might not necessarily be the strongest, like, main hand weapon... Oh, no! And there I go, yapping. Even though this might not be the strongest main hand weapon, it could be a really great offhand weapon for somebody's build. And there we go with the self-imposed difficulty of having no HUD. We sometimes will get we'll get died like that. Sometimes we're gonna have some deaths that are just a little bit, you know, they could have probably easily been prevented, but because we have this added challenge of playing with no HUD, we're gonna stumble sometimes, and that's a really great thing because I think that it will lead to a new layer of challenge. We don't necessarily need the enemies to be crushingly difficult, but we can impose fun challenges in our own way. All right, I'm rambling. Really, the only thing I have left to do is to sign off here, and I'll have a little thing that'll take you right over to chapter 3 if you want to keep following along. And thanks so much for being here. I don't know how many of you there are right now, but if there's even a single one of you, I hope you know that I appreciate you and that you matter. All right. I have been, always will be Coobs. Peace and love to you gamers.